It's called the greatest wealth transfer, and it's happening over the next 20 years. Many, however, are not prepared for this massive windfall. And what kind of inheritance advice would you give your younger self? Think about that if you can go back in time. And of course, we're going to talk about taxes, and more taxes because Mike Canet, Ryan Herbert, they're here, and their goal is to help you grow, keep, and distribute your wealth in the most tax efficient manner possible. Guys, how are you? Welcome. It's great to see you now.
I'm doing wonderful. It's always good to see you, Mike. It's football season is now going to start this week, so I'm super excited for that. And most importantly, my daughters are back in school, so now I don't have to hear about how much of a pain in the butt.
And I bet Meredith is feeling a lot better about that too, right?
So excited that they're back in school. She's got that time during the day where she can actually get work done and not just yell at me for leaving the house and leaving her alone with the kids.
You know what? I feel for you. Mike Canet feels for you because now I am officially over that threshold. Mike Canet, you know what I'm talking about. I am officially an empty nester, as you have been for a long time. Yes. But it's a great feeling. So when you became an empty nester, Mike Canet, was it an easy transition for you, or did that take a little bit of adjusting for you and Helen?
No, I think it was harder on Helen than it was for me. She's been a stay-home mom since they were very, very young. We were very, fortunate that my job, this profession, and owning this practice allowed us to have her stay home with the kids. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure they quite appreciate it as much as
they never do.
Start to recognize as they have kids and start to recognize, how wonderful it is to have mom and or dad at home. But actually it's a funny story. I guess my youngest one was maybe 16. He had just started driving, and my older one was getting ready to get out of the house. And I went to her and I said, I asked her if she wanted to, I don't know, adopt a baby girl or something like that, because she helped raise her niece. And we're sitting on the couch and I asked her if she wanted to adopt a baby girl. I said, we could bring in an au pair or something like that to help. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I had to duck all 3 frying pans as she threw them. It's like, are you crazy? We're at the point now where we actually get a little bit of that freedom. So I think there was some sorrow that the kids are up and out of the house, and I know she misses them. Fortunately for us, our kids live close enough that pretty much we see each of them. My youngest boy obviously works with us, but mm-hmm. I see my older boy pretty much every week for dinner once or twice a week. So pros and cons of it. Pros and cons.
Yep. And Ryan, we'll look forward to you going through that, man. It's a great stage of life and great process that you have to go through. All right, so let's get down to business here. Taxes. I saw this where the IRS is going paperless now. The agency recently said that it's hoping to achieve digital processing for all tax returns by 2025, by that tax filing season. It says that it's going to eliminate up to 20 million pieces of paper annually and reduce fund processing times. I guess that's a good thing, but there's another milestone that's happening here at the end of 2025, something that you guys have been talking about for a long time, and that is the provisions for the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, also known as the Trump tax cuts. Those are set to sunset. So tax brackets may be changing, and they, for all intents and purposes, are going to go up. Mike and Ryan, you guys have been talking about this for years now, warning people about what's coming up. And you guys have been helping your clients. What have you been doing to help them? And what can we be doing now for those that are just kind of catching up to this right now?
Well, the reality of the way the tax cuts work is pretty much everything that you did not like about the tax cuts, everything that you thought was really stupid about the tax cuts, everything that adversely impacted you about the tax cuts, those all stay. Those stay. Okay. And everything you truly appreciated about the tax cuts, the lower tax brackets, the fact that you had an incredible decrease in your amount of taxes, especially it was front loaded, but still you paid a lot less taxes. All that stuff, that all comes back. So your tax rates are going up. Most people in the 12% tax bracket now are going into the 15 and up into the 20 and 22% tax bracket. The people are in the 22% now are going to go into the 25 and 28. It's going to be ugly if you're not prepared for it, which is why we've been talking about the ability to convert into Roth IRAs for 30 years since Roths came out. But it's really pushed hard the last 5 or 6 years when Trump became president and lowered the tax rates. What incredible opportunity you had to do some fantastic tax planning, and for our clients that took advantage of it. I mean, we have a significant amount of our clients making $150,000 a year tax-free income. I
Wow.
mean, they pay no taxes. And we're not talking about municipal bonds. We're talking about the ability to take your IRAs and your 401ks and convert them into Roths in very tax-efficient manners. We're talking the fact that people have these big old brokerage accounts with, hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars of stocks that are creating taxable dividends and taxable interest and converting all that into tax-free income. There's ways to do that. And at this point, time is no longer your friend. I mean, we have 3 years and 4 months of the lowest tax brackets we've ever seen in your life. And if you have not sat down with somebody to do it, and the crazy thing about it is I just had a client in the other day. He was a referral from some people up in Detroit. Actually, we have some advisors in Detroit that work with us, and called us, sat down with us. We came up with a great plan, and what he said to me was, I really like that stuff. I want you to tell me all the tax planning I need, but I want to continue working with my current financial planner who is making all sorts of bad financial tax decisions for me. And I've been working with the same CPA. He's been with this guy for 30 years. And when he asked me about, could I do this? I explained to him that the answer is yes. It seems really silly to me to be paying 3 of us a fee to do what one person should do. Right. I do not understand how CPAs say we perform tax services, and the tax services they're just historians putting numbers on a page, and how any investment advisor, any financial planner can give financial planning advice, give financial planning recommendations, income recommendations, and not understand the very impact of those recommendations. The tax impact of losing 20 to 30% right off the top. That's insane way to go through retirement. And if you're experiencing this, if you do not have a financial planner that is telling you exactly what you need to do from a tax perspective, is telling you what you need to do for long-term care, estate planning, everything that's involved with it. If your CPA or tax advisor is not actually giving you advice, pick up the phone and give us a call. 866-597-1040, 866-597-1040. Sit down with Ryan and myself on our team, and we will show you how to create income streams. That's important. We're going to talk to you about how much you're paying in fees, the risk you're taking. We're going to talk to you about long-term care and estate plan. All those things are important factors of a financial plan, but you also want to have a tax strategy to ensure that you're always in the lowest tax bracket legally possible, which includes paying 0 taxes. 866-597-1040.
Again, 866-597-1040. And you can also go online to the savvyinvestorradio.com. They've made it very easy for you there as well. You can, again, the savvyinvestorradio.com, click on the front page on the tax analysis button, and that'll get you started today. Again, that's on the savvyinvestorradio.com. And again, we thank you for listening and watching. So Ryan, I want to talk to you about this. It seems that tax planning is crucial, but a lot of people may put it on the back burner or may not think it's as important as it should be, as you guys are talking about that it is right now, because, taxes come once a year and that's when I have to worry about it. And then I'm done with it for the rest of the year. But that's a wrong way to think about it.
Well, yeah, it's absolutely the wrong way to think about it. And most people think that when I sit down with my tax person in January, February, March, even those people that wait till April to do their taxes,
or August,
October, sitting down with them and asking them, what can I do to save money on taxes in that one moment? Most people think that is actually tax planning, and tax planning is a much more active strategy. And I think that most people that work with CPAs, they choose to work with CPAs or any type of tax planner when they ask them about Roth conversions, because this is a conversation that Mike and I have with everybody that comes into our office. This is why Roth conversions make sense. And oftentimes what I ask about Roth conversions, they always say, well, my CPA or my tax person said it's not a good idea for me because I'm going to pay a lot of money in taxes. I think that the stigma is there from tax preparers that if I tell my clients to do Roth conversions, I am going to knowingly increase their taxes. Anytime you do your taxes or you go to have your taxes done and you owe money, inadvertently, it's almost as if you're blaming that CPA, you're blaming that tax preparer. So if they're going to tell you, hey, take $100,000 from your IRA and convert it over to a Roth, they know at the end of the year next year, you're going to tell them that you have to pay $7,000, $8,000 more in taxes. And that's not a conversation CPAs want to have or tax preparers that they want to have, in my opinion. So I think that what you're really getting is kind of biased advice if you're choosing to work with advisors that don't talk about taxes, tax people that don't understand investments, estate planning people that don't understand how taxes and investments are such a huge part of the financial plan. And that truly is what makes Mike and our team here at Prostatis unique in that aspect, is we take all these parts of a financial plan and bring it all under one roof. Mike and I have so many stories about errors we found on tax returns, errors we found with people's investments. If you want to get a second opinion on what your financial professionals are doing, I encourage you to give us a call at 866-597-1040, 866-597-1040, and sit down with Mike, myself, and our team here. We'll go over a tax planning analysis for you, figure out the ways we can reduce your taxes now, but most importantly, reduce your taxes in the future. Talk about Roth conversions, talk about income, talk about your fees, talk about the risks that you're taking, and talk about your estate plan. But it all starts by giving us a call at 866-597-1040, 866-597-1040.
And of course, at the SavvyInvestorRadio.com, a great thing to do is to get a second opinion. So I want to just ask you guys a follow-up question here. Ryan, you mentioned, for the sake of argument here, $100,000 and, you're going to pay, I don't know, $7,000 in taxes. Again, this is just hypothetically using this as an example. What's that going to look like? I don't know, 10, 20 years down the road when you are in retirement and now that money has been taxed and you don't have to owe anything on it?
Well, what's it going to look like? You're going to be doing the happy dance when, you sit down to do your taxes and you've taken money out. What it really looks like is people are very, very short-sighted when it comes to tax money. They think about what happens now. Well, right now, if you did this $100,000 Roth conversion right now, you're probably going to pay 10, 15, 22% on your taxes. Okay. If we wait to do it in 2026, you're going to pay 12, 18, 24, 28% taxes. So just by waiting those 2 extra years, that is going to substantially increase your taxes.
And think about it from this perspective. In theory, just kind of the rule of 72 says that your $100,000 a decade from now, roughly, it's going to be worth $200,000, and in another decade, it's going to be worth $400,000. So if today you paid that 20 grand or 15 grand, whatever it was on the $100,000, and 20 years from now it's worth $400,000, you could take all $400,000 out and not pay 1 penny in taxes. As a matter of fact, when your kids inherit the money because turns out you didn't spend it, they could take all $400,000 out and not pay a penny in taxes. Conversely, we could wait 20 years or so, not pay tax today. 20 years from now, you have $400,000 in there. You want to take all $400,000 out, all things being equal, you're in the 41% tax bracket. I mean, think about that. And if you if your kids inherit the money, more likely than not, they're in the 28 to 33% tax bracket. So this is what we talk about when we say you need to have a tax strategy that encompasses not just today, but tomorrow and next week and next month and next year. And that's what so many financial planners are missing. That's what so many insurance agents are missing. That's what so many financial advisors and stockbrokers, these guys aren't telling their clients, here are the implications, here are the ramifications of not paying attention to the taxes today. And unfortunately, the CPA, as Ryan said, he's afraid. She doesn't want to give that advice to say, pay more taxes today, even though she knows in her heart that it's better to pay tax rates in the 12 to 22% tax bracket today than it is to pay in the 15 to 28 tax bracket tomorrow. I'm not real good at math, but if I have a choice of losing 22% of my money to taxes or 28% to taxes, I want to lose 22. And I am real good at math from this perspective because I always remembered this: 0 times anything is still 0. Right. So I like the idea of 0% taxes because then I never have to figure out how much my estimated tax payment is. I never have to figure out how much I'm going to owe at the end of the year. I don't care how much money I take out. If my tax bracket is 0, 0 is always 0. If you want to have that type of experience, if you want to truly understand the tax implications of what you're doing today, the recommendations you're receiving from your financial planning team, and the recommendations you're receiving from your CPA or tax advisory team, give us a call at 866-597-1040, 866-597-1040. Sit down with Ryan, myself, and our team, and we will show you how to create income streams that you will never outlive. We're going to talk to you about how much risk you're taking, the fees you're paying, long-term care, estate planning. Do you have enough homeowners insurance? Are you protected enough if you get a car accident? But also taxes, taxes, taxes. We have 3.5 years left of the lowest tax rates you've ever seen in your life. Give us a call, 866-597-1040.
Lots to think about, and you can get it all done under one roof with Prostatis Financial. You can also go to their website at thesavvyinvestorradio.com. Again, that's thesavvyinvestorradio.com, and click on the tax analysis button. That'll get you started with Mike, with Ryan today. But Mike, Canet, come on. You're not good at math. You got a master's in tax. Come on.
That's why they gave us calculators.